Hello everyone, my name is Diksha and I am from the Bodhi Academy. Today I am going to take one of the important chapter from chemistry 12th, that is surface chemistry. Now this chapter is important as well as very easy chapter among all the chapters. Okay, because it's about theory and which is easily understandable. So we will discuss what are the important concepts in this chapter in this video. Okay, so let us start with the surface chemistry. So surface chemistry. Now what is surface chemistry? It deals with the phenomena that occur at the surfaces or interfaces. Okay, now see, the interface or the surface is represented by the separating the bulk phases by hyphen or slash. Okay, so the phenomena, the processes which occurs at the surfaces or at the interfaces are called are we are going to deal with the surface chemistry. So here very important term that we are going to study here is adsorption. So what is adsorption? We know about absorption, okay, but adsorption is very different from adsorption. So we will try to understand what is this adsorption. The accumulation of the molecular species at the surface rather than in the bulk of the solid or liquid is termed as adsorption. Okay, so accumulation of the species at the surface, okay, meaning if there is one substance, okay, to which the other species is attached or attracted or accumulation takes place, then that accumulation will take place only on the surface and not inside the substance or in the bulk of the substance. So accumulation of the species at the surface rather than in the bulk or in solid or liquid is termed as adsorption. Okay, so in adsorption we have two terms which are very important. The molecular species or substance which concentrates or accumulates at the surface is called as adsorbate. So the substance which gets accumulated is called as adsorbate, and material on the surface of which adsorption takes place is called as adsorbent. So the material of the surface on which the adsorption takes place is called as adsorbent. Okay, let us consider one example, normal example. If soil, okay, soil particles are getting accumulated on my hand. Okay, so if soil particles are getting accumulated on my hand, they will not go inside the hand, right? They will only remain above the hand, that is on the surface. So that means soil will become here adsorbate, because soil is the species or the substance which gets accumulates, and the part of my body or the substance which holds them. Okay, so the material of the surface on which surface adsorption takes place, that is called adsorbent. So here in this example my hand becomes the adsorbent. Okay, so adsorption is essentially a surface phenomena. Solid particularly is finely divided state, they have a large surface area and therefore we use them as a catalyst in many reactions. Okay, so adsorption when if a gas like oxygen, hydrogen, carbon monoxide, chlorine, ammonia, they are taken in a closed vessel containing a powdered charcoal, then you can observe that pressure of the gas inside the vessel decreases. Okay, so when you take this in a charcoal, okay, powdered charcoal, then the pressure of the gas decreases inside the vessel. Now why this happens? This is because the gas molecules concentrate at the surface of the charcoal. That charcoal has the tendency to absorb the gases, so that means the pressure of the gases decreases due to that. So that's why you can see here adsorption in action in this example. Similarly, when you take the solution of organic dye like methylene blue or animal charcoal, when it is added and it's well shaken, you can see that filtrate turns colorless. Why this happens? Because the color is absorbed by the charcoal, animal charcoal. Like this we have many examples in which we can see the adsorption. Okay, now there is one more term here which is desorption. Now what is this term called as desorption? So the process of removing an adsorbed surface substance from the surface. Okay, if I take this example of my hand in which the soil is accumulated, if I remove that soil from my hand, then it will become desorption. Desorption means removal or removing the adsorbed substance from the surface in which it is adsorbed. Okay, so that is desorption. Now these terms are very important because they are asked in the exam. Adsorption, desorption. Then distinction between adsorption and absorption. Now adsorption, we got the idea, like what is adsorption. The accumulation of the species on the surface of the substance is called as adsorption. Now what is absorption? Absorption also we know that absorption is the accumulation of the species in the bulk of that substance. In the bulk means overall in the substance. Okay, let us take example of chalk. When the chalk stick is dipped in the ink, the surface retains the water of the ink due to the adsorption of colored molecules, while the solvent of the ink goes deeper into the stick due to the absorption. Now see, I take two pieces of chalk, okay, and I take a solution of the ink, okay, in a container. When I dip that chalk for a while, okay, and I remove it, I can see the adsorption phenomena. Why? Because when that chalk is dipped for a lesser amount of time, ink which is there in the solution, it will get adsorbed. Adsorbed means what? It will get only on the surface of that chalk. But when I keep the chalk for longer time, then what happens? That solution gets accumulated in the bulk of that chalk. Okay, that means on breaking the chalk stick, you will see that in adsorption it will be white from inside, and in absorption it will be blue from inside, because absorption means it will accumulate in the bulk of that substance. Okay, so that is the perfect example of adsorption and absorption. Then there is one more term which is very important, is sorption. And what is this sorption? That is both adsorption and absorption. When they take place simultaneously, it is called as sorption. Then mechanism of adsorption, it is arises due to the fact of surface particles of adsorbent which are not in the same environment as the particles inside the bulk. Okay, so we have now different types of adsorption. Two main types are chemical adsorption and physical adsorption. So what are chemical adsorption, what are physical adsorption? Now they are differentiated based on their intermolecular forces or attractive forces. So first we will talk about physical adsorption. The accumulation of a gas on the surface of a solid occurs on the account of weak van der Waals forces. So whenever the accumulation of gas occurs on the surface of the solid due to weak van der Waals forces, it is termed as physical adsorption or physisorption. And when the gas molecules or the atoms are held on the surface by chemical bonds. So how you have to remember, physical adsorption or physisorption is due to weak van der Waals forces, and chemisorption is due to the chemical bonds, and the adsorption is termed as chemical adsorption. Okay, now looking at this, you might think that which will be strong among the physisorption and chemisorption. So the one in which there are chemical bonds will be strong, because here chemical bonds means intermolecular forces will be stronger as compared to van der Waals forces. Okay, so that's why chemisorption will be having more strength. Then characteristics of physisorption. First of all, lack of specificity. Specificity means van der Waals forces, they are universal, they are applied to any gas. So that's why, since they are universal, there is no specificity in physisorption, because for any gas, for anything we can apply that. So a given surface of an adsorbent does not show any preference for a particular gas. Then nature of adsorbent. The amount of gas adsorbed by a solid depends on the nature of gas. So easily liquefiable gases are readily adsorbed as van der Waals forces are stronger than near the critical temperature. So easily liquefiable gases can affect the adsorption. That is the nature of adsorbent. Then it is having a reversible nature, because physical adsorption is reversible as it is a slow process because of van der Waals attraction. So more the gas is absorbed when pressure is increased as the volume of gas decreases. So it follows Le Chatelier's principle. Then surface area, the extent of adsorption increases with the increase in surface area of the adsorbent. So the finely divided metals or porous substances having large surface areas are good adsorbents. Then about enthalpy of adsorption, it is an exothermic process, but enthalpy of adsorption is quite low because attraction, that is van der Waals forces. Okay. Then characteristic of chemisorption. Chemisorption is not, it is highly specific. Okay, unlike our physisorption. So why it is highly specific? Because there is chemical bonding present between the adsorbent and adsorbate. For example, oxygen is absorbed on metals by virtue of oxide formation, and hydrogen is absorbed by virtue of hydride formation. Then about irreversibility, a chemical absorption involves compound formation. So reaction almost leads to completion. So that means this will not be a reversible reaction. It is irreversible reaction. Now there is one more point you need to remember here is adsorption increases with rise in temperature, and physisorption of a gas adsorbed at low temperature may change into chemisorption at high temperature. Meaning, if there is a gas, okay, which undergoes physisorption at a low temperature, but when you apply high temperature, it might turn into chemisorption. So high pressure is also favorable for chemisorption. Then about surface area, like physical adsorption, chemisorption also increases with increase in surface area. And lastly, enthalpy of adsorption. It is very high and involves chemical bond formation. So in this table, they have mentioned all the points which we have discussed right now. That is physisorption, chemisorption, important points. Then about adsorption isotherm. Now what is adsorption isotherm? So variation in the amount of gas adsorbed by the adsorbent with the pressure at constant temperature. Iso means constant, therm is temperature. So variation of the gas that is adsorbed by the adsorbent with the pressure at a constant temperature, it is expressed by the means of curve, that is adsorption isotherm. Now this is very important, that is Freundlich adsorption isotherm, and it is asked frequently in the exam. So Freundlich, who was a scientist, in 1909 gave an empirical relationship between quantity of gas adsorbed by unit mass of solid adsorbent. So it was given by chi upon m is equal to k into p raised to 1 by n, where it is the mass of the gas adsorbed and m is the adsorbent at pressure p, and k and n are the constant. So this, when we put log on both the sides, we get the equation as log of x by m is equal to log of k plus 1 by n log p. So validity of Freundlich isotherm can be verified by plotting this equation on the graph as a slope. Okay, so slope we get is 1 by n. By putting that equation y is equal to mx plus c, we get it as slope is equal to 1 by n when we plot the graph of log of x by m versus log p, that is this versus this. Okay, so we get the slope as 1 by n and we get this type of graph. So validity of this isotherm can be verified by plotting log x by m on y-axis and log p on x-axis. If it comes to be a straight line, okay, in this way, then Freundlich isotherm is valid. That means in this graph it is valid. Otherwise not. So slope of straight line gives a value of 1 by n, which is a slope, and intercept on y-axis is having the value of log k. So it explains the behavior of adsorption in an approximate manner. So factor 1 by n can have values between 0 to 1. Okay. So this is about Freundlich isotherm. Then adsorption from solution phase. Now this we have seen adsorption in gaseous phase, in which we use that Freundlich isotherm. Now here whenever we take the adsorption from solution phase, only the thing differs is concentration. Now you can observe here we have taken log p. Log p is related to pressure, Kp. P is the pressure. Only thing we differ here is Kc, that is instead of pressure we take here concentration. So that's why equation remains same, only the P term is getting replaced by C, that is a concentration. So log x by m is equal to log k plus 1 by n log C. Then applications of adsorption. There are many applications of adsorption, in which the first is production of high vacuum. Now vacuum you all know that it is a free of air. Okay, so the remaining traces of air, they can be absorbed by charcoal from the vessel evacuated by a vacuum pump to give a very high vacuum. So to give a very high vacuum, we do not need air inside that. The air which is trapped inside that can be removed by using the charcoal. So charcoal is a good adsorbent which helps in absorbing the gases. Okay, so this is very first application, that is production of high vacuum. Then second important application is gas mask. Gas mask, which is a device which consists of activated charcoal or a mixture of adsorbents. It is used in breathing, used for breathing in coal mines or to absorb the poisonous gases. So this is used in the coal mines basically to absorb the poisonous gases by the workers. Okay, so this is very important, which is asked in the previous papers. Then control of humidity. Silica and aluminium gels, they are used as adsorbents for removing moisture and controlling the humidity. You must have observed that when we buy any new accessory or anything, for example, bag, leather bag or shoes or any bottle, so you can see that one packet is there in that. So that packet is of that is a silica gel. Okay, why it is put in that? Because it does a very important function, which is controls the humidity. That's why these are used in such substances to remove the or control the humidity. Then removal of coloring matter. Animal charcoal removes the colors of solutions by adsorbing color impurities. Then heterogeneous catalysis. Adsorption of reactants on the solid surface of the catalyst increases the rate of the reaction. So there are many gaseous reactions of industrial importance. They involve solid catalyst. For example, we have very important reaction which is of production of ammonia. Okay, so Haber's process. So in that we used in Haber's process we use finely divided iron. In contact process, that is sulfuric acid, we used vanadium pentoxide or vanadium oxide as the catalyst. Then separation of inert gases. Separation of inert gases due to the difference in degree of adsorption of gases by charcoal. Mixture of noble gases can be separated by adsorption on coconut charcoal of different temperature. So this can be done using this process. Then in curing disease, number of drugs are used to kill the germs by getting adsorbed on them. Similarly, there are many applications which are there, which we use in the daily this in our day-to-day life. Okay, so yeah, with this I'll stop and I will continue with the chapter in the next video. Okay, thank you.